still thought it was interesting that she didn't take any responsibility at the end for telling the American people that Joe Biden was fine and he was strong. I mean, we all know that's not true. I just think at some point, then why isn't he running?
My boy Scott Jennings on it again. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section. You can get you one of these shirts in the gold, or you can also get it in the red, white, and blue American flag colors. So this has been probably emerging as one of our most popular shirts. I didn't know people really love it like they do, but they do. And so get you one. Link will be there. Discount will be there. Let's get into this. Make sure you hit the like button, though. That's important. Hit the like. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, hit the like button anyway. All right, let's talk about this for a minute. Mr. Jennings is on here just spanking these people up and down the court, for lack of better terms. They continue to gaslight us, and I'm hoping that the American people can see through this. Kamala Harris and everybody said Joe Biden was okay. And if you ask me, it gives the impression that when we were seeing Joe Biden fall, when we see him stumbling over words, when we see him apparently falling asleep at certain events, and him sitting down when everybody's standing up, and him looking very old, frail, he's staggering in his steps, he's pivoting in his turns. The guy has every sign of having dementia, or what was the other one? It was Parkinson's. A doctor actually came on CNN and said that he would diagnose Joe Biden with Parkinson's disease. When everybody sees that, and Kamala Harris and others say, he's fine. I talk to him every day. He has all of his cognitive ability. He is not dropping out of the race. We are moving forward as a campaign. We are going to change America. Everything is good. People expect that maybe we tripping. Maybe the dude can get into a debate against Donald Trump. Then he gets out and the rubber hit the road. And that fool glitching during the debate. I mean, he almost froze up at one point. He completely could not speak. He couldn't articulate points. He was stuttering. He was looking down. He was getting angry. He was so bad that the night of the debate, many Democrats were saying he needs to step down. Now, all of us conservatives have been saying this, and they call us conspiracy theories. And this woman right here said that he's still in the race. He ain't dropping out. She support him. He just had a bad night. Just having a bad night means you can still run for president. How do they drop him out at the 11th hour? Okay. Let me let my boy Jennings work these people, but listen to this clip.
Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly. He cares so deeply about the American people. He has the intelligence, the commitment, and the judgment and disposition that I think the American people rightly deserve in their president. By contrast, the former president has none of that.
And I don't know if Dana Bash pushed back on this, but I'm gonna call her a B word in my next life because I can't do it in this one. If she didn't push back on this is the easiest conversation to push back on in American history. And she wouldn't mind doing it to J.D. Vance. I don't know if she did. I don't have a video evidence of footage. I may have to go back and watch it. But she should have easily have been like, well, then why is he not running? Why did he drop out of the race? You're saying that y'all had a tremendous record of recovering an economy, building jobs. Why is he not running for president? Okay, we'll see. Watch Jennings whoop these people on this.
It was a carefully worded answer, but one that really was very careful not to even in the slightest way undermine President Biden.
Yeah, I sort of simultaneously admire the loyalty, actually, because it would be tempting to just say, you know what, this was ridiculous, and he made it. But she didn't. But at the same time, you know, before he got out of the race, upwards of 90% of the American people thought he was too old to run again, and she was out there in the face of that saying, no, he's fine. She's still saying that And no one really believes it. So I guess the real fundamental question is, are people going to give her the grace on that and say, well, she's got to say that because it's her boss?
I think so many Americans want to know, who is she and does she have command of her voice? And she answered every question. Now, you might not like the way she answered them, but she answered them as a capable, qualified leader. And I do think I think she moved the ball forward a little bit. You know, maybe she didn't score a touchdown tonight, but she definitely moved down the field.
What, an inch? She moved an inch? I don't think she moved forward. When somebody asks you a question, I'm talking to somebody, just a regular Brandon Tatum, and I'm gonna play the rest of it. Y'all hold on. Brandon Tatum, somebody asked me, Brandon, why do you like Donald Trump? I wouldn't have to do this. Well, you know, over the years, you know, I've always been a fan of his, you know, and I just really been thinking about it, and I like his policies, and man, if versus me saying Donald Trump is awesome. I met the guy in person. He's very kind. He's generous. I mean, throughout the years, he's been doing incredible work, not only in the inner city, but he's done incredible work as far as real estate is concerned in America. And then when he was the president, he killed it. Okay, he killed it. He did incredible. Ask the audience, anybody watching this, how was your finances? It went well, didn't it? The stock market was breaking records almost every other time we looked at it. Donald Trump did well outside of the pandemic. He can't control that pandemic. Donald Trump does things in the inner city community. He cares about the border. He cares about the country. And he's the most selfless person that we know of in politics. The man has almost lost everything, even his freedom and his life, to defend the Constitution and support this country. Nobody can claim that. I didn't look down. I didn't look over. That wasn't a script. I don't have nothing written down. I didn't prepare for that. That's just off the rip. That's off the cuff. That's off the brain. That's genuine articulation of why I believe what I believe. And this woman is running for president. And she can't look a reporter in the eye and answer a simple question about her own feelings.
Right, Scott.
I agree with Ested about this idea of the question of who's going to change will be the fundamental defining question of the election. And I was sort of watching this, you know, holistically. What is she saying? What does she look like? What's on the screen? So at the beginning, when she's talking about Biden and their record, our screen said, this is called the Chiron, the headline at the bottom. It said, Harris stands by Biden administration economic record. She is making it clear that she will embrace and be a continuation of Biden's economic policy, his record, what they've done. She offered no remorse, no regrets, no introspection about anything they've done. She continued to blame inflation on this fantasy price gouging idea. She had no additional thoughts on the economic situation in the country or what they've done beyond just saying, Joe Biden and I have done a great job. Now, if I were the Trump people, I would be salivating over the idea that that's how they are going to run the race. I don't believe it's tenable. I also thought it was interesting that she didn't take any responsibility at the end for telling the American people that Joe Biden was fine and he was strong. When we all know that's not true. That's why he's out of the race, and she's still standing by the idea that he was fine and he's strong and that he's fine today. Nobody believes that. And I just think at some point, then why isn't he running?
Y'all saw that. Watch what she say, though. Like, if he's fine, why is he running? It's only 4 more years. You know, if a man is old, he can do 4 more years. Donald Trump is doing it. He can do 4 more years. It's not like he just became old after the debate. He was going to run. He had all intentions. They didn't even have a debate. He ran unopposed. So he was fine at his age until after the debate. He asked this woman, because she said, because he's old, or he said, well, why is she not running? Listen to what she says.
Because he's too old. Point blank.
Because he's too old.
Same reason why Donald Trump probably shouldn't be running, because he's too old and out of touch.
I think.
What does too old mean? I felt like he was old when he won in 2020. 4 years later, he's too old after the debate. Not before the debate. Not when he was falling and bumping his head on stuff and doing all this stuff and being sick and hiding from the camera, getting COVID. He wasn't too old then. He was only too old after the debate. Not the day before the debate, not the day of the debate. After he got killed in the debate, he's now too old. Wow. I did not know a person can age in 90 minutes. Somebody can age 45 years in 90 minutes. That's not an excuse. This bug-eyed woman, let me not say that. Her eyes is big, though. I mean, them things about to pop out of her head. She still can't see the truth. How your eyes that big and you still can't see what's going on? Ma'am, you making up excuses. Can you have some integrity and say, yeah, he was a terrible candidate? I can go down and list of terrible. Barack Obama won because Mitt Romney was a terrible candidate. McCain was a terrible candidate. These people were out of touch. They weren't charismatic. Martha McSally in Arizona was terrible. She lost every seat in Arizona. And she's a Republican. I may run into Martha McSally one day. Maybe somebody follow me, love her. Man, you can't tell me she's a good candidate when she lost both Senate seats. She ran for both of them and lost. I remember I looked at Kirsten Sinema's page, who's the Democrat, and I looked at Martha McSally's page. Martha McSally did not have policy positions on her website. And I'm a Republican. I say, man, I ain't vote for her. I voted for her anyway because she was a Republican, and I thought Sinema was a little too wacky. But I was very disappointed in her, and I thought that was a cheesy thing for her to do, and I felt like she wasn't going to win. Even though I voted for her, she wasn't going to win because she don't have enough gall to put her policy positions online. And then I didn't want another Democrat being in the Senate because they just vote wacky and they're going to destroy America. Kirsten Sinema ended up being a lot more moderate than I thought she would be. I would vote for Kirsten Sinema over Martha McSally. I would have. I would almost vote for Kirsten Sinema over a couple other Republicans. I don't mind saying that. I won't say I would vote for a Democrat over Mitt Romney, but I think there's a lot more Democrats that are better than Mitt Romney. Like, I think if Democrats run a really good candidate, like a genuine moderate, if they ran a JFK, I'd vote for JFK over Mitt Romney. I would vote for Kirsten Sinema over Mitt Romney. I'd vote for, what's another Democrat they got that she switched parties, but Tulsi Gabbard over the Republican. Any of these Republicans. There's tons of Republicans it'd be hard pressed for me to vote for because they weenies. And not every Democrat is a bad person. Just Democrat policies are so bad, and many of them people follow the policy, it's impossible to vote for them. Let me finish.
Most Americans know the truth, and when you're running to be president and you're willing to look them in the face and tell them something they know that you know is not true, it does speak a little bit to your character.
Scott.
This whole thing about, you didn't say it tonight, but you've said before, and I just disagree with this notion that Dan actually asked a question. Well, you've been there for 3.5 years. No vice president makes policy. Okay, let's just make that clear.
Well,
nobody, I said this
she did.
before. Nobody talks about the Pence years. Okay,
Well,
nobody talks about the Biden years when Obama was. Nobody.
This dude is so disingenuous. He should go outside and slap himself in the face a couple times and come back in. Yes, they do. All Mike Pence spoke about when he was running for president is what him and Donald Trump did in their administration. Put my life on it. I was shocked that Mike Pence would talk like that because it's like, well, the guy that's in the same administration that you bragging on is actually running too, and he was the president, and you the VP. Y'all did so many great things. Why not vote for the president again? Why vote for you over him? Everything that he said was about the Trump administration and what that administration had done. You can go down a list of Joe Biden about the Obama administration when him and Obama did all these great things for America. And she is doing the same thing. But they suck so bad, she can't really carry that torch because she's trying to distance herself from the negative things that the administration did with her being a part of it. When Joe Biden was running for office, she was the VP candidate running with him. She didn't have a problem with none of the stuff he was proposing. Now, all of a sudden, she's going to change the world. Okay.
Does that. So, but it is a challenge for her to take credit for the things that are good and to try and walk away from the things that are not.
But she did make policy, though. I mean, she said, I was the last person in the room on Afghanistan, and she cast many tie-breaking votes in the
I don't
Senate.
think
She didn't.
that's
That's
necessarily-
different than saying that she made the decision.
Yeah.
She claimed to be his last and most principal advisor on Afghanistan. That is not.
She said
That's her words.
She said she was the last person in the room. which
What
is
does
not
that mean
say
to
she
you?
created the
It
Afghanistan
means that
policy.
she told him whatever
Boy.
she thought, and he did whatever he thought
I do
he
think-
wanted to do.
How do you know that? How do they know that's how it went? I know Dick Cheney wasn't that kind of person, was he? Was Dick Cheney the person that had no involvement? Many people think Dick Cheney was the president when he was VP. I mean, you go down a list and you say, if I'm the VP to somebody, they pick me for a reason. I have to be intelligent and can give good advice to the president. I'm his vice president. So was she consequential or was she a DEI hire? Make your mind up. If you're saying that she was not consequential in the last administration, then she was just hired because she was black. You got to argue that she was consequential. You got to argue that she had some skin in the game. You got to argue that she had policy positions. You have to argue that she was the top vote breaker in the Senate that put legislation forward. She had skin in the game. She was the border czar all the way up until it was a show. And then she can't be the border czar no more. You know, I only wish that everybody can sit at this table and give an honest take. I feel like Scott is giving an honest take. I don't feel like he's being superfluous whatsoever. He's asking real questions. Why can't we talk about real stuff here? Why does everybody have to be Democrat pundits? Just get out here and tell the truth. That's why people don't like this stuff, because CNN is going to always lie to make their candidate look right. I think Scott is giving a fair and balanced perspective. Like, Dana Bash asked her for a reason. For 3 years, you didn't do anything. Did Dana Bash ask her so she can give a revelation that vice presidents are pointless? Then that make you even worse. You were completely pointless in the administration. You know, it's that what she's trying to do is they're terrible. She has no value added. And she want to distance herself from things that were negative in the Biden administration and connect with the things that people may resonate with. That's all she's doing. She has no original thought. She can't even look a reporter straight. Ma'am, you've been a VP, you do interviews, you've been a prosecutor. You can't look somebody in the eye when you talk to them. At least look past them. You're looking down. That's a coward. That's a person who's like a wounded dog. When somebody confronts you with a question, you look down, and this wasn't even a controversial interview. Dana Bash is kissing her butt the whole time. Anyway, I got more videos. Y'all go check the other ones out. I'm out.